While I was playing the Black Ops Cold War beta, I was having a great time, and one thing that really stood out to me was that every weapon was viable. Now, if you watched my video where I was listing all the positives and stuff like that, I did make a point that all the guns are pretty much usable, in my personal opinion. I know some people are having some trouble with specific weapons, but for me, I could pick up pretty much anything, like a QBZ, a Krig, the M4, AK-74U, MP5, a mini Uzi. Pretty much any rifle is pretty much manageable to use in this video game with no attachments. Now, when it comes to using attachments, it's a completely different story. At first, I thought the gunsmith was pretty cool. They were really trying to show it off, make it seem like it was something extra, something big, with the new stats and showing every last exact number down to the T, so you know what each attachment does specifically, instead of just giving, a little bar on the side that says, oh, this boosted this bar this much, or this boosted this bar down this much. It actually shows you what each attachment does for your weapon. And I thought that was really cool. I thought that was outstanding news. It was great for the video game. It adds an extra layer of content for the video game, and it's going to make it a little bit more in-depth. I like things like this, Coming from a Battlefield type of guy as well, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, all these type of Battlefield games, there was always so much customization that you could do to your weapons, between camos, all types of attachments, between scopes, grips, everything that you could think of, you can customize. And I always wanted to see that added into a Call of Duty video game, which they did when it came to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And I was a little nervous that they were going to take out the system and, go back to the original thing where you, pick 2 attachments. If you put a wild card on, you can have 3. This, that. But Treyarch didn't. They kept the same gunsmith system, which makes me happy. There's still tons of attachments, but when you have a lot of attachments and you have a lot of, quote-unquote variety, you have to make sure that it's real variety and not fake variety. You can't add 100 grips and 100 scopes and 100, rear grips and stocks and stuff like that if there's only going to be one group of attachments that you're going to use for that weapon. Now, if you guys didn't know, I think midway through the beta, the second open beta, they decided to unlock all the attachments for your weapons, which they didn't do in the first beta. They did this in the alpha, which I was a little confused why they didn't do in the second beta, but when the third one came out, they decided to do the same thing. They allowed the whole community to test out weapons, try all the attachments, and basically get a feel for what guns they like and what attachments they like and stuff like that. And when this finally happened, I noticed something, and it was something that's not good for this video game. Now, this isn't something that's going to be, completely game-changing. This isn't going to be a feature that's going to completely make me think that Black Ops Cold War is a bad game. No, it's not that deep. But I guarantee you, maybe 1 to 2 months down the road, it's going to be a lot of complaining from the community, including myself, where it's going to be, the same complaint of no variety. We heard the same exact thing in Modern Warfare, but the difference is that in Modern Warfare, there was no variety when it came to weapons. Everybody used the M4 and the MP5. But in Cold War, it's going to be a different story. It's not going to be no variety in the weapons. It's going to be no variety in the attachments. Now, when I was experimenting with all the attachments, there was one set that I always went to. Now, I can't tell you specifically. I can't remember off the top of my head. And, of course, through all the gameplay that you see here, it might vary on and off from what attachments I'm using, just because I started recording from day 1 until, the beta finally ended. So from day 1, there was no attachments. I had to grind and use what I could use. And then, halfway through the beta, then they finally unlocked all the attachments. So my class subs might look a little different gameplay from gameplay, but I used the same exact attachments for each and every weapon. And honestly, it's the best way to run the weapons. I tried all different types of combos between different scopes, between different grips, between different magazines. I tried absolutely everything, but there was always one go-to group of attachments that I always used, no matter what weapon it was. Whether it was an LMG, an assault rifle, an SMG, it really doesn't matter. There was one set that completely overpowered the rest. Now, like I said, this isn't game-breaking. This isn't a problem because at the end of the day, there's still gun variety. But I think a lot of people are going to get annoyed because, like I said, Treyarch really tried to make a big statement out of their new improved gunsmith. They took Modern Warfare's gunsmith and they added just a massive new layer of in-depth content for the gunsmith. And they did all of this for basically no reason because at the end of the day, nobody cares about the stats if there's just going to be one group of attachments that everybody's going to run to each and every time. Now, I've been told multiple times that, there's probably going to be more attachments. It's just a beta. They're probably just adding a few things in. I really hope this is the case. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think this is the case. I really do think that what we got in the beta is the attachments that we're going to see for pretty much all the weapons when it comes to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Treyarch never really was too big on attachments, and even in things like Black Ops 4, there still wasn't really too much variety when it came to attachments. I mean, they added, different attachments like second variations like Stock 1, Stock 2, Grip 1, Grip 2, and stuff like that. But in Black Ops 4, they weren't bragging about the gunsmith. This game, they are. You can't have, like I said in the beginning of this video, you can't have a gunsmith where you're going to, advertise your game as being able to customize and completely make your weapon the exact way that you want it to, and then go ahead and make one exact setup of attachments that you're going to use for every single gun. The whole fun and the whole point of being able to mix and match with a gunsmith is to basically make a gun for every situation, whether you want to run a gun, whether you want to play defensively, whether you want to play for long range, up close, medium range. It's so many different varieties, whether you want to drop shot or if you don't want to drop shot. There's so many things that you can do with attachments. And that's what makes it fun. It allows you to have variety, and that's what keeps the game interesting. For example, Modern Warfare. Even though a lot of people don't think there's tons of variety when it comes to attachments, I personally think there is. Between scopes, between different grips, between magazines, I try it all. Not just one set of attachments is a go-to for each and every weapon. Each and every weapon has a different feel, a different recoil pattern, a different way it hits. Some weapons don't need a barrel when others do. Some weapons need a commando grip when others could just use a merc grip. Some weapons need an extended mag, some just don't need an extended mag at all. All the weapons you can mix and match in their own specific way. And that's what made Modern Warfare so unique with the gunsmith. That's why I loved it so much in Modern Warfare. And like I said, I was hoping for the same exact thing when it came to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, but it was the complete opposite. There was no variety. There wasn't any, grip variety. There wasn't any mag variety. I always ran the same thing, the same 40 round or whatever round speed of mag, the same grip. It was like the third or fourth one that, made vertical recoil or something like that better and other things. The same barrel, the same stocks, the same stuff. And it was for everything. And all the guns do hit different. They hit different. They feel different. So you would think that the attachments would, vary from weapon to weapon. You wouldn't have to use the same thing for each and every gun. But, I mean, maybe the most that you would change is like having an iron sight or a red dot and having no barrel or with a barrel. But when it comes to magazines, when it comes to grips, when it comes to stocks, rear grips, all that stuff, you use the same thing. There's literally no variety. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little spoiled this year. I will admit, Modern Warfare has spoiled a lot of us Call of Duty players. Regardless if you enjoy the gameplay or if you don't enjoy the gameplay, the graphics, animations, and variety of content in that video game is out of this world. They have been producing tons of maps for us, tons of weapons, tons of attachments for the weapons, tons of skins, tons of everything. It's been a really good year. And I think that after playing Modern Warfare, a lot of people were expecting, the equal amount of effort or even more effort when it came to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. But what a lot of people keep forgetting is that Treyarch really does make more simplified arcadey Call of Duty shooters when Infinity Ward branches off and makes more, hyper-realistic type Call of Duty shooters. So it makes sense why Treyarch would make it so simplified, because this is just their style. They don't really put too much focus on these type of details when it comes to gameplay. They mostly just make sure that the game runs good and it's a fun Call of Duty shooter. That's their only main goal. But like I said, after playing with the Call of Duty Modern Warfare Gunsmith, it just gave me expectations to have something equal to that. And like I said, if Treyarch didn't brag and boast about their gunsmith so much when it came to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, this wouldn't be an issue at all, to be honest with you. But because Treyarch is trying to make gunsmith such a big deal, that's why I'm a little salty, because a lot of the people, including myself, are expecting something big out of gunsmith. And when we finally got our hands on it, there was nothing big. Everybody's used the same attachments and we called it quits. So I'm hoping that maybe later on they will add either A, more attachments, or B, just tune the attachments to make sure that they're a little bit more specific, and they'll change the gun completely. Because currently, right now, when you put attachments on your gun, it's not really to, make it better at close quarters or to make it better at long range. It's just to make it completely overpowered. And once you completely rank up your weapon, you will have all the attachments to make sure it's completely overpowered at up close, long range, medium range. Basically, that's the whole goal of Black Ops Cold War. No, not to make sure your gun is tweaked to make sure it fits, whatever playstyle, whatever map you're playing on. Basically, just to rank up your gun to make it an overpowered god-tier weapon. All I want's a little variety. That's all your boy needs, and I think I'll be very happy when it comes to the attachment side of this video game. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, and by all means, if you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so. I have a Twitter and a Discord. Both those links are down in the description. And also, want to catch me live stream some video games, I do that over on Twitch. Link to that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.